Welcome to another episode of High on Why. Every one of us say we don't have time to eat healthy. So what happens when two founders build a startup that remove that excuse completely? That's exactly the problem Neeraj Kumar Yadav and Vivek Chandran set out to solve when they built the Kenko Life in Bangalore. This is the story of how the Kenko Life turned discipline into a delivery model and made health a daily subscription. Let's welcome them. Welcome Vivek and welcome Neeraj. It's really a pleasure to have you both here. I know so much of work you have out there managing. You probably would have given all the managing part to others and you are here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And on that note, we had so many conversations right now. So I think on that note, we'll start with a game. Okay. So this game is very much, close to you, I guess, because it's regarding the food. So I will be showing you out, pictures. You have to identify and tell me what food it could be.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is.
I can give you clues in between.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is the first one. You have to blend it and give me one answer.
Yeah.
Wow, this is difficult.
Yeah.
Almond, key, and ear.
You can try it out and put it out in some other language and see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Almond. Okay.
I'm definitely not getting this. I think I'm really
Okay,
bad.
I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
It's a sweet.
Badam halwa is what I can think.
Badam.
But it doesn't.
I know the last is one little tricky one, but you can get it. You can get it.
Khan.
It's a mixed match of
Hindi
and English. Yeah.
Right? So key is chavi. Badam, chavi. Here.
Wow, this is difficult.
Okay. I hope the next ones are easier. Okay, sorry, you'll have to give us it's wrong.
Definitely, I'm not able to get it.
Okay.
What is it?
I'll tell you the answer.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's Badam was right.
Huh.
Okay,
Chavi.
what's this?
Badam kheer.
Exactly.
Kheer.
Badam kheer. I got it.
Finally, you got it.
Okay.
Fine.
Sorry, we're bad.
Okay, next one. Then probably I think this would be a little difficult, but I'll give you one hint. It's a fruit.
Okay. Avocado.
Nice.
Very good. That was very instant. Yeah, next one. Okay, what
probably-
flag
That's
is
China.
that?
No, that's not China, right?
No.
It's Turkey, right?
Yes,
Turkey.
exactly.
Turkey.
Turkey eggs.
Yes. Turkish egg.
Turkey.
Good one, Neeraj. Yeah.
Chicken.
I think this one would be very easy for you.
Chicken. Right. Car. Sandwich. Chicken.
You're right. You're
Right.
close.
No,
to
I'm
it.
reading it out, sir.
Him reading it out is making me more confused.
Okay, I thought that's helping. Sandwich. Chicken car sandwich. Chicken. Okay, you need a
What is that symbol? What's that symbol?
right. A check.
What do we call it?
Tick.
Yeah.
Chicken tikka sandwich.
Yes.
Car.
Yeah.
Sorry, we are so bad at this.
No, you guys are good actually.
Red.
This is super easy.
Red.
Super
Yeah,
easy.
everything
This is,
seems super easy until we begin.
You should have given us the answers before so we don't look foolish on camera. But anyway,
no. It's completely fun.
Right.
So is that red or a circle? I'm not even sure next time.
I'll give you a hint. This is also sweet.
I can think of red velvet. That's one thing I can think of. But yeah, it doesn't go there.
I know probably the color.
It's red or purple or maroon.
Yeah, it looks like maroon, but then it's the color. Color is the answer. If you get the right color, you'll get the answer.
Red.
Yeah, it looks like more of maroon actually.
Macaron?
Yeah.
No, not macarons.
No, it's a knee. He was right. That's a
It ends
knee.
with knee. And it's a sweet. Nice knee. Firni.
Okay, I'll give you this because it looks like maroon, but it has to be brown, so it's brownie.
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 Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like maroon.
Yeah, it
That's
looks
on
like
you.
maroon. Fine.
That would have been easy. Actually, you're right.
Yeah.
If
It
was
looks
brown,
like
you would
maroon.
have got
Yes.
it right. Yeah.
Yeah. We are done, no?
We're clearly not foodies.
Okay.
Rose, jam.
Yeah, this one would be super. This is also again a sweet. I don't know. Too many sweets today.
Gulab jamun.
Yeah, right. We are starting on a very sweet note today, the conversation. Okay, well played, both of you. I think it was interesting.
Super
for you.
difficult.
Is it? No, but then when we worked out on this, no, I went and asked, few more people, are you getting this? Are you getting this? Is it difficult or is it still okay to,
That's why you asked that question. Are you a foodie?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, because if you're not foodie, then you will not relate to a lot of it, no?
Clearly, we were not able to relate to it.
Okay, but otherwise, well played.
Thank you,
Even
thank
though
you.
you felt it difficult, you answered almost all of it.
This felt like an interview altogether.
Okay, so coming to the Kenko Life. Okay, you both started Kenko Life. So you guys started in the year of 2020.
Correct.
Right? So while you started Kenko Life, how was it for you? Because I can see that, this market is very much growing and it was a very smart business move, right? So how did you see this? You felt a profitable gap over there and then you thought, okay, I'll start Kenko Life, or probably you went through something in your childhood or any other health difficulties and that's why you came up with a plan saying, yes, I'm going to start this. I think Neeraj would take this.
So, it's a mix of both personal decision and the market gap both.
Okay.
So when I was born underweight, and due to which I used to fall sick very often. And during my college first year, I kind of realized that food can help in growing, like in improving my health. And then I started eating well. Now, over a period of 2-3 years, when I started eating well, when I say eating well, I started reading about food, I started reading about nutrition, I started measuring my food, I started eating how much I was supposed to eat and the right amount of carbs, protein, fiber, everything. I started measuring food over a period of time. And over 3 years, I could see a massive change in myself, wherein my performance got better, wherein I wasn't going to the hospital a lot. And that is where I saw that food is something that can do wonders. If it can do something with me, then I tried doing that with a few friends also, and it helped them greatly as well. That's where I saw that, okay, this is the answer to most of the problems that people have in their lifestyle. And right out of college, I wanted to start this as a business in 2015, and I was too young around that time. I spoke to my parents, I spoke to my dad specifically, and he was like, I don't have money. Secondly, no one in our family is into business, so you better leave it off. And at that point of time, I agreed to him. I thought that, okay, it's too new and I'm just being very excited. And the second option that I had in my life, which I made a conscious choice, was to appear for civil services. So I started reading a lot, which anyways I was doing while in engineering, just not the engineering part, but everything else I was reading. So I was an avid reader there also. And then civil services made me get deeper into studying more, knowing about our country and stuff. And that is where I got really busy during the third year of my prep. And then I wanted to find an option that could help me eat better. And at the same time, I can study for long hours. And then I started searching for options. And I could see that there are no options as such. I mean, there are great gyms, there are great coaches, but food which does 70 or 80% of the job when you want to live a healthier lifestyle was missing. And that is where I found out that this is a huge gap that can be solved for. Technically. But till then, I was not ready to take that plunge because firstly, I did not have the money part of it. And secondly, my parents would have not agreed to it. And then to tell my parents that I want to go from civil services to starting a kitchen, they would have not liked it, which is what happened exactly. So I did not tell my parents after starting Kenko for a year. After almost a year, I told them and they stopped talking to me. And they were not able to digest this fact. Typical Indian parents, yes. Yeah. They couldn't digest the fact that I am starting a kitchen as such. And then my dad used to tell कि बावर्ची बनना है, क्या करेगा ये सब करके and all, कुछ नहीं आता है, बर्बाद हो जाएगा सब कुछ and all. And to start Kenko, I took some loan from my friends. I started a small kitchen. I knew exactly what had to be done. I knew that this problem can be solved by portion controlling the meals, and this has to be specific to a person's goal. You cannot have a standardized meal for everyone. And that is where Kenko started happening. I started on 12th of December 2020, thinking that this is a huge gap that can be solved for. And this was right after COVID first wave. Without realizing that second wave is gonna break me completely. And that is where I learned the real lessons for entrepreneurship. I mean, before my business started, it was already failing. And that is where I think the hardest part of my journey started. So first 2 years of my business was the hardest part of the business, in sustaining it, because I had no money. I kept on loaning money from my friends without knowing where it will end.
And also because of the COVID. COVID was the major
COVID was
factor, I
brutal.
guess.
People were not ready to touch food as such. And after 2 years of surviving COVID, second wave and third wave, I was like badly into debt. I knew I had to pay my friends. They trusted me with it, but I did not know how to do it.
Okay.
And that is where I think I found Vivek at that moment.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question. How you guys, get along and you started Kenko Life. So your journey into Kenko Life, you can just
Ours is a
explain.
funny story the way we met, right? So Neeraj wanted to work with Shweta, my wife, and she was busy that day. So she asked me, say, can you go for the meeting? So Neeraj and I met at a coffee shop, and like half an hour into the discussion, he was like, oh, why don't you join me? So and I'm like, what do you mean? So I thought like, I was not getting it. I asked him 2-3 times, like, what do you mean? He's like, no, like I've grown the business to this. I need help growing it further. So I'm like, something is wrong with this guy. Why is he asking this question? I just deflected. I was like, we'll talk about it later. And then I just spoke about what the thing was with Shweta. And then I said, okay. Then about like a week later, he messaged me saying, hey, did you think about it? So I'm like, oh, he's actually serious about it. So I said, we met again. So I'm like, what do you have in mind? He's like, see, I've grown it to this much. And now I need to grow and make it a business.
Okay, he had already started the time he had.
Yeah, he
met
was
you.
2.5 years into this, right? So 2.5 years of being a single entrepreneur running this operationally heavy business, right? So he was doing like the hard work was done to some extent. From there, when I was asking him questions, like, do you have a website? He was like, no. So I'm like, why not? He's like, no, I need to figure all this out. So he's like, I need your help in that. Then I was like, and I was just getting into kids fitness. Like I'd done my certification. I'd found a place where I was going to start. I was like a week or 10 days away from starting that business, right? Then he told me, like, why don't you try the food? So I've been into fitness for a while now. I'm not a bad eater, but I'm a decent eater, right? Then I started eating macro and calorie counted food as per my requirements, right? That was a game changer. Like in 10 days, I was like, okay, this is good. Like, I'm eating the right amount of quantity. My performance at the gym was getting better and better in 10 days, right? Then I sat down with my wife and I was like, this is interesting. And she's like, why don't you do it? Then I was like, what about the kids' business? Then I called Neeraj, like, let's meet, right? Again, all these are coffee shop discussions. And then I was like, okay, let's work together for maybe a week or 1 month or something and see how it goes. Then, obviously, it was not 1 or 2 hours. It was like 6-7 hours per day. And then, like, it reached a point where we had to create the website. And there we have to give the company name and all that. And then that's when it was like, we have to register the company. At that point also, I was like, let's just register the company. I'm not sure about it. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. And he's like laughing inside somewhere, I think. At that point, okay, he's like,
So
let's see how
probably it was meant, to
he
be
was
with
very
him, so
sure.
yeah.
It was meant to be kind of a thing, because when I wanted to work with Shweta, I was pretty sure because I had a mentor, and that mentor actually told me ki Vivek is there who has been working on game theory and now he's not doing it. I did not know he was ready to start one more thing, and then I had to snatch that away from him. But technically, I kind of was meaning to find a co-founder and I knew he was there. So it was just the approach part that I had to worry about. And then either if Shweta would have been there, I asked Shweta the same thing, can I meet Vivek? And then the good thing, he only came and then I dropped that bomb on him.
Nice. Lovely,
Yes,
lovely
so
journey
yeah.
of your both, getting together and starting Kenko Life. So what was initially was there within you? Because when you started Kenko Life, whom were you starting Kenko Life for? Who were your audience you were thinking?
So initially, I was a little greedy in starting Kenko for myself, because I was thinking in two ways ki I will start Kenko as a proper dhanda, which will give me some money. And on the sides, I'll prepare for my civil services. So both will work hand in hand without realizing ki this will become a business as such at one point of time. And then I saw ki there are people who would need these kind of services, because I needed something like that. People who can't figure out how much they are supposed to eat, what they are supposed to eat. There's a big knowledge gap there, right? So I wanted to fill that knowledge gap in. And I knew that this will be a successful model as such. I did not think a subscription will be one of the biggest thing at that point of time. I just wanted to solve for 200, 300 people, make my money out of it and study for my exam. That was the true reason of starting Kenko. Then after 1 year and 2 years into it, when the loan started happening, when debt started increasing, I was serious, I can't do two things. I have to focus on one thing. And that's where I went head on into Kenko. But at that point of time, I was sure that as a nutritionist, I was a certified nutritionist. I was doing macro calorie counting for all the clients. I was guiding them. So I knew that this is a use case that can be used in a huge landscape of health, right? So I knew that this will work as such.
Nice.
And in India, there are a lot of healthy players, right? What's the difference between Kenko and the other people who are giving healthy food? Ours is portion controlling, right? And that is what he did from day one, right?
Yeah.
Making sure that the right amount of food is coming to you. So when you do that, that's where the magic lies.
Yeah.
Right? Eating a lot of healthy food doesn't make you fit. Under eating doesn't help. Right? The right amount of portions is where the magic is.
Yeah, in fact, I also had the same question when I started reading about you. Okay, subscription model may, they give food, they give meals, lunch and dinner. It's very similar to what Eat Fit is doing,
True.
right? So what's the major difference? But then when I started reading, okay, portion control is something which everybody has to be mindful, wherein
Correct.
we aren't. Okay, we think, okay, this is a healthy food. Okay, healthy food hai, khao, jitna
Exactly.
bhi khao doesn't make sense. That's what people think, but that's not the thing. Portion control is something you have to make
Of course.
sure. So
That's what 90% of the people still think. Ki healthy food is something which is healthy and then you can eat how much ever and what you want to eat. But then it doesn't work that way. If you put science behind it, it is mostly portion controlling and putting your macros and calories in place. And that is where the results start happening. Slowly we are trying to change.
how did you try to place yourself? Because when you started Kenko Life, we already had Swiggy and Zomato, and left, right, and center, everybody was ordering through that. Okay, so how was it for you? How did you place yourself? Because in there also, okay, this is what calorie kind of a food, healthy food. They also label it and they sell it. So how did you place yourself?
First day it was free food to
Okay.
11 friends who are into fitness, because that was the lowest hanging fruit. I knew people who are into fitness will understand what I'm trying to do. So first day it was 11 free meals. Second day it went to 15 free meals. A week, a lot of my friends ate. They backed it saying ki what I'm doing is good. They started posting it. So word of mouth started happening.
Yeah.
My first client came via word of mouth. He's still a client right now.
Okay.
So it's
been 5 years?
It's been more than 5 years.
Okay.
Now. He's still a client. He has gone through a major transformation in his life. He started with us at 114 kgs and now he's at 72 kilos. So over 5 years, he has changed himself completely. And we have few clients who joined initially. I think there were almost 31 clients at that point of time, out of which around 23, 24 are still there.
Okay.
They've still been sustaining on Kenko. So word of mouth initially is where we positioned ourselves by, like, if you eat and if you feel well and you can see change within 10-15 days, you will definitely go and tell people. I did not know how to figure out a website. Technically, I did not have money to figure out a website at that point of time. So I knew this is my best way to get into the market.
And when you order on Swiggy Zomato, that's a impulsive thing. That, okay, you know what I want to order.
Yeah.
Eating healthy cannot be impulsive. It has to be sustainable, right? So you can't say, I'll eat healthy one time a week, right? And that's the reason we have a subscription model where you eat week on week or like at least a month to get some results. So if it's weight loss, weight gain, depending on your goal, our nutritionist will figure out how many calories you need to eat. From there, we figure out your macros, which is how much carbs, how much protein, how much fiber. That is measured on a weighing scale and sent to you. All you have to do is eat. All the aggregators like Swiggy, Zomato and all that, the healthy tag now, they've come up with the healthy tag, right? But if you just drill down and see what else is coming, what else is coming, it's not super healthy, right? It gives you the impression that it's very clean and stuff, but we've gone through, this is our job, like, always trying to find out what the competition is doing, what is available on Swiggy, Zomato. And we've seen that the healthy tag on these aggregators is not really healthy.
And majorly, I also see that healthy tag is more for marketing purpose rather than you get the healthy food.
In the last 5 years, healthy, clean, all these are words are so misused, right?
Yeah.
So even when we tell people, they'll be like, oh, how's it healthy? Like, they just already are like, tell me how is it healthy? And then we have to explain, like, how do we make this food healthy and clean, right? And that education is what is important in India right now. And it's slowly picking up. 5 years ago? Okay, so by the way, Neeraj was the only salesperson for 3 years as well. Right?
Okay.
So he would be the only nutritionist.
That's the difficult job ever.
I think all the jobs are super difficult.
Technically, I thought this is my first job and it'll be easy to be a boss, but then it was super difficult wherein I was a nutritionist, I was a sales guy, I was delivering food sometimes when there were no delivery boys. Like, you don't know how the industry will open up, right?
that only an entrepreneurship's journey starts.
Yeah.
Right? Doing everything by yourself.
That's true. Right.
So how does, a person coming and taking a subscription from Kenko Life, how does the whole process start?
So initially what happens is once a person knows about Kenko, they reach out to us by filling a form.
Okay.
Now this form goes to the sales team. The sales team calls the person, and we actually have chosen a person to speak on sales because we want them to understand what we are doing first of all. Once the sale happens, it goes to the nutritionist, wherein a nutritionist guides you throughout the process. Like what are you supposed to do, what your lifestyle is like, and we will build something around it. So the goal of Kenko is not to disrupt the whole routine that you're into, but to add on to it. For example, if you eat a lunch meal, if you eat a dinner meal, we'll make a few changes there and give you something. We'll add on some fiber, we'll add some protein to it if you feel that the meal is carb heavy. If you're eating well in your lunch and all, we'll give you same kinds of portion, just that we will take the hassle out of it, wherein you don't have to cook, you don't have to decide how much portions you're supposed to eat. And then after 15 days, the nutritionist will get in touch with you again. They will understand what progress you have made over a period of time, and they'll make the necessary changes. Now, all this doesn't happen manually. This happens on an app that we have built.
Okay.
So there's a lot of tech involved behind it. And that is why we are doing this very easily right now. Even though it is an operationally heavy business, we have started developing the tech part of it from the initial days because we wanted to scale this to a bigger level.
Okay.
So that happened initially itself.
Okay. So what I see with this model is people opting for such kind of model will be people who are working employees and they don't have time to actually cook at home, and probably who are more health conscious, healthy food, and it's not convenient for them to cook at home.
So a couple of years back, that was what we thought, right?
Yeah.
Now we have completely changed our outlook.
Okay.
We have food, right? And we give you good clean food, right? So we are not targeting only the gym goers or only couples. We're targeting everyone. Everybody who eats food is our target audience, right? So you want good, clean food, we're there to serve you. So, but yeah, 3 years ago, we were like, okay, not our target audience is this kind of thing. We used to spend a lot of time talking to gyms, figuring out how we can get that kind of audience to eat our food. But then we started seeing bachelors were eating food from us, couples were eating food from us. There are a couple of people who reached out from abroad for food for their parents in India because they wanted clean food. Right? They were like, we don't. So one of the things which happens in India, right? You've grown up eating your mom or food at home, right? And then when you reach a point where you started working and all, you get a cook. Now the perception is the cook is making healthy food. I'm eating at home. I'm eating good food. But the cook is also in a hurry. He has to make it tasty for you. Otherwise, you will fire him saying, what is this? Taste acha nahi hai. Now, how do you make it tasty? It's simple. Put a little bit of more masala, a lot of oil, make it a little greasy, and then you taste. It tastes good, but that doesn't help your gut, right? So these are the things which we are trying to now bring about in our ads as well, where we educate customers saying that they not eat good, clean food, and your daily routine itself will change. You'll see we've asked so many customers when they eat our food, post the meal, how do you feel? Normally, when you eat heavy food, you sink, right? And then you'll be like, Kenko food, you can go for a run also, right? It's as light as that. So,
what are the major challenges you have faced at Kenko?
A lot. Everything was major.
Because I can clearly understand being a food safety auditor, running a kitchen is literally not easy. I've seen people opening kitchen and then the next day they are not able to run the kitchen, they close it. So in the point of operational aspect, it's very difficult. So how is it for you?
So you understand kitchen part of it. You know how kitchen works, how there's a lot of attrition in kitchen, right? Put a layer of tech on that every person has to get their meals on time, plus the portions have to be measured. Put one more layer on it, that there is a delivery team that we have to manage. So basically in Kenko, we have decided from the first day that we'll build everything in-house. So the kitchen is ours, the nutrition team is ours, the sales team is ours, the delivery team is also ours. So there's technically 4 departments there we are handling, and then Bangalore traffic to add on to it, right? So these are the multiple challenges we talk about. If we start talking about challenges, I think we can speak for another 1 hour and we'll not get over. But this is just a gist of it. I mean, we started delivering the food on our own. We started measuring food and all. So there's a lot of operational challenges that were there initially, but I think tech helped a lot there.
Okay.
To track the orders, to see how many people are going to be served tomorrow. And since we are a subscription-based model, one thing that we have been able to solve is food wastage as such. From food industry, food wastage is one of the major problems. The bigger companies which are coming to solve for it. Now, we as a company don't waste food as such because we are a subscription-based model. We know how much food to give. Since we measure everything on a scale, we know a day prior this much food we have to cook. And this basically is done by the tech part of it. Then we start cooking that kind of food, and we technically don't waste food.
Yeah. So we know exactly how many orders for next day. Okay. So if there are 1,000 boxes, we know how many kilos of, supposing there's a rice dish, we know exactly how much thing, right? Okay. But coming back to the kitchen part, see, we are healthy. We're clean. So when chefs join us, the biggest problem for them is unlearning what they've learned in the market, right? Which is making the food tasty, putting a lot of ghee, this, butter, that. They come here and they're like, only this much oil is allowed. There itself, they'll be like, oh, and that's where like it's a huge challenge for us to educate these chefs who come. And there has to be SOPs around that, and you can never take your eye off the ball, right? You can't be like, okay, not today, I will not look at it. So everything, so over a period of time, now that's what we've built. The SOPs are so strong. So we know exactly how much oil is dispensed.
Yeah.
If there is a dish, how many ingredients are there. Every menu item, we know the ingredients, right? And all this is through tech, right? And this was built 3.5 years back itself, keeping in mind scale. That if we go to a new city, how will we scale this, right?
If you have a standard SOPs, it becomes very easy
Exactly.
to also enable at different other places as well.
Correct.
Yeah, but I find one of the major challenge because in Kenko Life is you have nutritionists, right? And they help out telling how many portion control, and you have 800 plus subscribers if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
Right? So how do you work out for 800 plus subscribers the portion controlling? How difficult, the challenge you have it there?
Oh, it's very straightforward, right? It just sounds complicated.
Oh, is it?
Right?
Okay.
So the thing is like all of these people there's a touchscreen monitor which is there. Okay, so your name will be there and it'll list how much protein, how much carbs, how much fiber. Now the guy who's packing the food, okay, all he has to do is read numbers. So if it'll say P means protein, 120 grams. He'll just put it on a weighing scale, measure 120 grams. Then V, which is veggies, he'll put 120, 50, whatever the grams are. And then how much carbs, right? 3 years ago, per meal packing time was maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes, depending on the complication.
Okay.
We've been experimenting something new. Now the time has come down to 40 seconds.
Okay.
So 40 seconds per meal is what we spend on packing the food.
Okay.
So yeah. So
also training is required for people again and again.
Initial training for 2-3 days is needed because there's nothing complicated for the packing boys. All they have to do is read the name, read the numbers.
Yeah.
The complication happens on the tech part of it, which we solved for, wherein the nutritionist data is converted into that number for them.
Got it.
And we built it to scale, right? So if it's a very complicated system, then we need highly educated staff in the kitchen.
Right.
Here we just need people who can read numbers,
Right.
100, 150, 200, whatever is the number, you just blindly you take the ladle and pack the food. That's it. So it's simplified to that level.
Okay.
And that's how we do 800. And I think we can do 8,000 also with that, right? So
Nice. Okay, what does the Kenko Life means?
So the Kenko Life essentially means the healthy life. The word Kenko means healthy in Japanese, right? And this happened by chance, wherein when I started the company, I did not know what to name my company.
Okay.
I went to the MCA website. I started searching for a lot of names. I couldn't understand anything. And then I think it was around 3:30 or 3:45 in the morning when I started thinking what to name my company. And then I started searching online and I couldn't find anything as such. Then I started figuring out what do you call healthy in different languages. And Kenko is something that stuck by me. I liked it, so I thought people will like it. And that's how I named it the Kenko Life as such.
Okay. Nice. I think, there is every story behind how Kenko has been made. No?
yeah. And all this is like one person sitting and figuring this out. And this is his first job, by the way, right? So, so it's not like you cover the years of experience and you're like, oh, you know what, I learned this in my corporate stint. Now I can implement it. So he's figuring out everything out from scratch. So,
in fact, I was about to ask because most of the Gen Z, most of the people, students, I would say, this generation are trying to directly get into a business wherein they don't have prior any job experience and they directly get into the business. So how is it for them? I mean, you have a different experience. You have a different experience. How do you, say, okay, we can go ahead, we can take a step and go. How is it? Can we? Because people are very confused these days, okay? They want to do something of their own. So what do you suggest them?
So I think there are a lot of kids now, I wouldn't call them kids, but yeah, a lot of adults who are trying to start their entrepreneur journey, right? And it's a good thing, right? Nobody wants to work for someone.
Yeah.
But they only look at the glory side of it, right? Where, oh, you know what, I've built a big, great company. The struggle part of it, that's what breaks you, right?
Correct.
And you have to sustain year after year, year after year.
Yeah.
And at some point, you have to understand that this business is going to take off or break. You can't just say, oh, this is a great idea, I will somehow make it work. So somewhere your support system, they all need to come and tell you that, just keep at it. This is a great idea. Or come back and give you a reality check saying that, this is a terrible idea. Quit and get a job or think of something else. So that part is very, very important for even experienced entrepreneurs, right? It's not only the Gen Z or the younger kids.
And
who are trying to do it.
entrepreneurship is something which is totally new for everyone. Whoever has a job
There's no
experience
book
also.
you can read and say, "Ha, I figured it out."
Absolutely, you have to figure out every
But
day.
probably you would have seen some experiences in your job. Okay, this is how things has to be handled. You would have seen your mentors or something.
For me, it was very, very
For
different.
you, it was
I
very-
did not know.
And the other side is like, especially for the food subscription model in India, there is nobody you can compare with or learn about it, right? There are a lot of players abroad. And these are companies who go on IPO and like billions of dollars in revenue, but nothing in India. And that's the reason, like, Neeraj was like, there is a big gap. Okay. And this is what we have to target.
Technically, there was nothing to look up to. Where do you learn from?
Yeah.
That was the question. So everything that we did was done by experience, done by a lot of feedbacks that clients gave us. So we built on that. We listened to our clients very, very carefully. If they felt okay, this meal was not good enough, then we worked on that. We removed that. So there's a lot of experiments that we used to put into meals. These are not random meals that we have just bought into a menu. I mean, we tried launching something, then clients gave feedback. We went back, we solved for it, and then every time delivery part will break, then we had to figure out the delivery part of it.
Okay.
Later on, like after 2 years into Kenko, we had to figure the sustainability part of it. Being a healthy meal prep company, you had to solve for what packaging you use, how do you deliver your food. So initially we were using plastic boxes as such, and that was the only solution at that point of time. We tried, like me and Vivek at home, basically we'll keep bagasse boxes, we'll keep paper packaging, we'll put oil into it, we'll keep it for 3 hours and see if it'll leak, seep or not. And then there's an added layer of stacking boxes because this food had to travel for 2-3 hours. Then after getting a lot of backlash from clients only, they were not ready to understand ki operationally how do we do it. They just cared about the sustainability part, and then we had to travel a lot. We had to figure out if there's a packaging solution to it. We were lucky enough to find a packaging solution, and that is how the packaging got changed after 3 years.
Okay.
And then delivery part, initially it was very painful to use vehicles which were petrol vehicles, right? Because that was the only solution. Then EV came in, and then we tried EV, which was a bigger shocker than the petrol vehicles altogether. I mean, vehicles were breaking down in between, brakes were failing. It's like companies were just doing a bad job as such, right? So it was challenging at every stage. And to figure out everything on a day-to-day basis was the fun part of it, I think.
What was that one menu you removed for the sake of your customers?
No, I mean, there were
There are
few
dishes.
meals.
These are dishes we're talking about. So
One dish.
So there were dishes which we removed not because customers did not like it, but we removed our favorite dishes from the menu because operationally it was not scalable.
Okay.
That also we had to worry about. I mean, there were dishes
Yeah,
that
of
people
course.
will die to eat, and we had to remove it. We had
at
to take it
scale, we
back.
couldn't replicate it, right? So when we were doing 30-40 boxes, like one of my favorite dishes was removed, like, this...
Lettuce wraps.
Yeah.
Lettuce wraps.
Oh, it was
Okay.
fantastic.
Okay.
Right? But at scale, we couldn't make it happen. So things like that. And obviously, like what happens is now with the app, every meal you consume as a customer, you can rate it, right? So we will look at that data end of the month and see that, okay, what dishes got 5 stars, what dishes got bad rating, and consciously we'll remove those, right? So for us, customer is king and feedback is important. So
How is audience reacting to the price point of your subscription model?
it's mixed, right? So the thing is, when you look at one meal, it's fine. But when your monthly commitment is for 26 days what you're paying, so that's the reason a salesperson needs to talk to you, explain to you what you're committing to. And we've done the maths, right? If you're a single person, you're a couple, the amount of money you spend on a cook and your ingredients and you're buying your protein source, be it veg or non-veg, and the Kenko subscription is cheaper. And no decision fatigue, right? Here, you have a cook at home, you're cooking, but then you don't like his food, you'll order on Swiggy Zomato, get that. Saturday, Sunday, you're ordering. It's a cycle, right? So that's where Kenko kind of brings you healthy food, clean food, and no decision fatigue, right?
Okay.
We're trying to break the perception of healthy food being grilled chicken, grilled paneer, no salt, no oil. Eating is, you start hating eating. We don't want to do that, right? Nobody needs to go to that journey. So
Okay.
On top of that, what we see is, when we start ordering food on Swiggy or Zomato, an average meal comes between 300 to 400. We don't mind paying for it. We don't know how it is made. We don't know what is put into it. But we're very happy putting in that, right? And we charge somewhere between 250 to 300 rupees per meal, depending on your subscription, the length of your subscription. And some people come back to us and say, this is too costly. Then we have to explain them that you try ordering this on Swiggy every day and see the portions that we are giving and the food that we are giving, does it match? And that is where they understand the proposition that we have a better proposition to offer. But still we get that eat back a lot, then this is costly for us as such.
Okay, so because you had so many struggles with the Kenko Life, and now you're in a greater position, and also I guess you got funding from by Zerodha, right?
Yes.
So how is the journey with them?
So before
Great.
that, I think before that it was we had an angel investor first,
Okay.
a gentleman called Mr. Raghunathan.
Okay.
He was the second or third person we met, explaining like that time we were just pitching to angels. He liked the whole idea, and he was the one who actually backed us first,
Okay.
right? And our growth has been those days. I'm talking 2.5 years ago when he invested. He was the backbone of our growth, right? He basically pushed us into situations where we were like, he's like, you're growing too slow. You're very conservative, right? And because of his push, we grew very fast, and that's the reason like Kenko is here right now. His expertise, and he had built like some giant systems back in the day. He did a big exit, so his experience counted, and he would spend time with us after the investment. It wasn't like he was not interested in talking to us or whatever. He was like weekly we would meet him.
Okay.
He would come to office, spend some time. He's like, come on, like get it done. Don't worry, I'm there for you, right? And then we started pitching, and then we finally reached Rainmatter, right? And we from the beginning were very, very keen for Rainmatter because of their approach towards health.
Yeah.
Right. So if you just look at the 100-odd companies they've invested in, it's mostly in the health
Mostly
space,
in the health
right?
space.
And it wasn't straightforward. They ate our food for 1 year, right?
Oh, is it?
More than a year.
So so the decision
Okay.
wasn't like, oh, you know what, come on, like you're in the healthy space, we'll take your word for it. Nothing. They grilled us. They ate, like there was validation, right? 1 year,
Of course.
Dilip Kumar ate our food. Then we made a pitch at the Zerodha office. That was very interesting. But we are very, very lucky to have Mr. Raghunathan and Rainmatter backers, right? That combination has helped us grow, and the vision, keeping in mind that both of them has told us very clearly, like, grow slow, don't be in a hurry, right? Just because you get funding, you try growing very fast. There are a lot of companies who have failed. So we are very, very clear that we want to take not baby steps, but smaller steps to make sure that we become a well-known company all over India.
I think the right push from the right mentor also matters.
Of course.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
growth.
I mean, Mr. Raghunathan was the most instrumental person in the growth journey of Kenko initially, and that is where we learned how to do business, like how to make this business a little bigger. I mean, his push was important, and then Rainmatter came in, another set of investors who believed in us, and they were also very, very clear that what we are doing is good as a business, but we have to grow intentionally, and we don't grow too fast and break the whole system altogether. So having investors who believe in the vision of the company is very, very important, and I think we're very lucky to have.
All the very best for
Thank you
Kenko. Okay, because you like sugars.
Okay.
Okay. Especially ice cream. You love ice cream, and
I
you
do.
eat ice cream every day. That is the reason you want to start with zero ice cream.
So I don't want to start ice creams as of now. It will be too big a commitment. First of all, would want to solve for food, which we are trying to do right now. But we are in the process of launching healthy, clean desserts. Now, when I say healthy, clean desserts, these are desserts which have no preservatives, no additives, and has no sugar in it as well. So what we have done to replace the sugar part is we have started using monk fruit as such. Now,
Okay.
monk fruit is a natural sweetener. It is a 0-calorie sweetener, and it doesn't spike your blood glucose as such.
Okay.
Now, we experimented with a set of around 12 to 14 desserts right now. And to back it, we wore a patch on us, so basically a sugar
With the
monitor.
monk fruit?
Yeah, with the monk fruit.
Okay.
Everything was experimented with monk fruit. And then we wore a patch which can measure your insulin and stuff, basically your sugar levels. And then we started experimenting, seeing the data on it. And then now we can proudly say that all these desserts won't spike your blood glucose, but it'll definitely help you with that craving wherein you don't have to eat
Yeah.
desserts which is loaded with sugar and feel guilty about it.
And
We're
I've
just
tested
in the
this for
process.
3 months, right?
Okay.
With different people, and the feedback has been very critical
Okay.
in figuring out the 12
Even
desserts.
diabetic patients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. And where is this fruit from?
So monk fruit, basically, if you see majority, it is grown in China. Then it is
Okay.
grown in India, also in Himachal Pradesh, and then
Okay.
it is grown in northern Thailand also.
Okay.
Processing happens at different countries, but majorly these 3 countries as such.
Then
It is
it's a
grown.
very good alternative after stevia.
Yes.
So the difference between stevia and monk fruit is there's no aftertaste. Stevia has a very strong
Yeah,
aftertaste.
correct.
Right?
Has
So
a
monk
better
fruit
aftertaste.
works very well Because in the desserts, right, that's the reason people like our dessert. They'll be like, how is this, like, what kind of sweetener have you put? Because this is not stevia, because there's no aftertaste.
Yeah.
So that's why monk fruit is picking up big time in India.
What is more coming up with the Kenko Life?
So yeah, we have a bunch of things which are doing, right? We have 3 healthy cafes. We have 1 restaurant right now. But our main focus right now, after the subscription, is corporate catering. So we've seen this, and it was by luck, right? That this corporate wanted to try the food. And while in conversation, we were like, okay, fine, I think we can do it. And then Neeraj was like, no, we will do it. And I'm like, we have no experience in corporate catering. He's like, so it's food. And that's why our narrative has changed. Anybody who eats food, we are there. So corporate catering is something which we're looking forward to. And that is, again, going to be a new line of business, which we're going to pursue this year.
Everyone wants healthy food, right? I mean, there's no dirt to people wanting it. And then we saw that corporate is something that can be solved for very easily by us. And then we went to this corporate, we ate their food and we called it out, okay, it's not great. And then that opportunity came in, we was like, why don't you do it? That's what Vivek was explaining, right? So, I mean, we tried solving for it. Then we saw that it is a big business which can be solved for. And that's how we entered into corporate catering. Apart from this, when we talk about the growth part of the company, now we are looking to expand to other states. As such. So we have Hyderabad in pipeline, we have Gurgaon and NCR region in pipeline, then we have Mumbai in pipeline. So we are going to expand to other cities also.
Okay.
Altogether.
Lovely. Nice knowing this. So I can see Kenko Life almost everywhere in Pan India.
Hopefully, yes.
Lovely. Nice talking to both of you and knowing about the Kenko Life and the subscription model and what you are actually, giving away, which is majorly the, portion controlled food. Yes. So which is, a very big takeaway for today's conversation, I guess. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
It's been a pleasure.
This is High on Why, which pushes you to act. Do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for more entrepreneurial stories.